My name is Mateo Fennell. I'm the Community Forestry Coordinator for Athens-Clarke County. I have responsibility over all the trees on Athens-Clarke County property. And then I also do home visits for residents, helping with tree risk assessments and just consultations for tree care for their home. So pretty much every home visit I do is kind of like a choose your own adventure. We're going in a number of directions. I've got a number of questions to kind of paint the picture brighter and with more colors. When someone calls me, I always ask them, what are you doing during the day? And sometimes people are working, they can't show up, and that's totally fine. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll ask them, okay, well, what are you worried about? And then I can show up and walk the property, take pictures, and then give you a call. Let you know, well, what am I worried about? What am I not worried about? What did I notice and observe? And that way they can have some pictures to go along with it. But usually somebody wants to come and walk around and talk while I do that. And I've got about 45 minutes where we can walk and talk. So usually I ask someone to make a priority list. You know, what are the biggest worries for you? We'll go to those immediately. And then we can work our way through some of the other issues. So this is actually a really good spot for us to stand and talk. Yes. The branches are making contact with the roof. You know, in a large wind event, they are gonna move and wear away the granules of the asphalt shingles. So usually I tell people 10 or 15 feet of clearance is a really good window, but that's the only thing that jumps out at me as we were walking back here. I always try to call something out. Wow. There are a few things that I noticed while we were walking around that could be done for the trees. So here I did find a few branches that were in contact with the roof and should be reduced back. A few pine trees here on the property that I think we should watch this summer to make sure they're not being infested with southern pine beetle. But other than that, pretty much everything I found looking pretty healthy and happy. On the ACC website, I've got a number of pages devoted to our community tree ordinance, and in there is my contact information. I think any homeowner would do well in having an arborist out to look at their trees if it's causing your blood pressure to be higher. And being worried about a tree near your home is not irrational, it's completely rational. Is my daughter's playset underneath that branch that I'm worried about? There's any number of possible risks or threats that a homeowner is thinking about. You know, those are all good instances where having me out to look at it can really pay dividends.